because I have two short chapters that I would like to cover. The reason is because sama ada you sedar ataupun tak, ini dah minggu ke-8 masuk minggu ke-9, meaning that we only have another 2 to 3 weeks more of the semester for us to end. Kejap je rasa kan? You know, like the semester is already like toward the end. So you were like, oh, discussing, talking, and also chit-chatting and stuff like that in the classroom. We're learning. But at the end of the day, it's already like toward the end of the semester, okay? So the good thing is, that is like, you know, yes, it's actually going really too fast. But that's a good thing, because if you feel that it's too fast, meaning that you are using your time wisely. Kalau rasa macam you bosan sangat, macam lama sangat but then if things that are enjoyable and things that are, you know, like working well for you, so that always takes, you know, that always feels like this a short of times. Anyway, speaking about, we only have like 2 and 3 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks, especially for the ODL student, because your class is always on the weekend. Kenapa saya cakap English banyak hari ni? Kelas ni semua. Okay, pada mereka yang semua kelas dah sampai ke akhir semester, jadi kita tak ada banyak masa. We don't have enough time, kita tak cukup masa. So what happened is, I am suggesting that your assignment, remember you have to do the presentation. Saya ada ramai student kat dalam kelas ni. So far I have like about 130 students, if I'm not mistaken. Dalam kelas ni ada 80 orang. So jadi kalau 80 divide by 5, then after that I'm going to have like a big number of students. Then later on, I try to make the time to be as effective as possible. I am suggesting that the presentation for this class, okay, the presentation for this class is to be pre-recorded. Now listen to me first. Okay, pre-recorded means that you will record yourself. Say, let's say 5 of you all together. I have a feeling that you guys are very happy with it, judging by your thumbs up. Okay. Okay, what I am thinking of is, you can like gather around in the Google Meet, okay, 5 of you, and then you show and demonstrate your works, and then you can start to do your discussion. Take your time. I am thinking that your presentation would be possibly about 5 to 15 minutes. 5 minutes to 15 minutes. You can do it short, but if you have like time, you wanted to explain what you wanted to do and all that, use this as your platform, but don't go beyond 15 minutes. Is that okay with everyone? I need to have thoughts from you. You can ask me whether that is okay, if that is a good idea. Thank you, Tivia Mala. All right, what about the others? What do you think? Is that okay if, let's say, we do this class, the presentation of your assignment to be pre-recorded? I'm going to watch it. Don't worry, I will definitely watch it. I will give my feedback and so on, but it will not be on the real times. Okay, it will be more on the pre-recorded, so that I can have like all the time that I need to do the markings and so on. Okay, boleh Zariatun, thank you so much. Azlina, what about the others? Okay, thank you. So I assume that is okay. Now later what I do is I'm going to create the brief, ataupun I'm going to put in the brief so that you will understand, and then you will actually start to do the pre-recorded content. You don't need to put it on YouTube. Kalau you letak dalam YouTube, it's much better lah. Tapi what you can do is that video, you can just send it to me over YouTube or Google Drive links. Ataupun you can upload the file straight away together. Ataupun if you want to, you can do the recording on Urock. Do you know that Urocks can do recording? So you just press the record button and you send assignment by by recording. Okay. Modern sangat kita kan. It's like Urock pakai assignment, it's like pakai recording je. Tak payah nak susah-susah nak tulis and all that kan. You tell that to to your parents before yang going to the university, that you know, like have to sign assignment by writing and printing and so on kan. So student modern sekarang. Okay. Thank you Eng Chui Hui Cheng and also Dachayini. Okay, sorry. Okay, all right. So kalau all agree, then let's just jump into what we are going to learn today. Today we have two chapters that we are going to discuss together, which is lecture 8 and also lecture 9. The reason is because this week is already coming to the week 9. So if possible, we try our best to finish it earlier so that you guys can concentrate into doing the assignments, so on. Right, so much. So I actually opened this up for the discussion after this because literally we are talking about media and globalization. So what do you understand about media and globalization? Okay, apakah yang anda fahami berkenaan dengan media dan juga globalization? You can unmute yourself and then after that you can contribute to the discussions. Anyone? Nurhemi, apakah yang anda fahami berkenaan dengan media dan juga globalisasi?
I think media and globalization here refers to how the media is being used globally and how people globally are accessible to the usage of media or something like that lah.
Give one example.
For instance, you can access any kind of media or any kind of platform of media. For instance, YouTube, you can get all kind of information or news easily by just clicking from your fingers and from your laptop or phone even, or something like that. Yeah.
Does it make sense if I say that the media is actually just at the tips of your finger?
Yes.
And why do people say that?
Because it's easily accessible from your phone. Technically, you just by a few clicks, you can just simply get whatever you want to see.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But why do people use the term global? Kenapa dia tak pakai other terms?
Because it's accessible globally.
You're still using the word global.
Internationally.
Internationally, okay lah, that's similar to global. So when we talk about global, thank you very much, Amy. That's actually a very good answer. Okay, close to that. Okay, now when we talk about global, imagine that if we do not have a media this time around lah, this era ataupun like within this generation, kalau tak ada globalization, alright, how does we actually get connected? I can tell you one thing. When I was abroad, okay, before lah, when I was abroad, to make a phone call to my mother, alright, I have to PK like 30 kali. And the reason is because it was so expensive. I have to make sure that the timing is correct. I have to make sure that not my younger brother who's picking up the phone. Sebab apa tau, nanti dia akan is like, Mom, phone calls! And then after that, my mother would take her own sweet time to come to the phone, sebab residential phone. Lepas tu, they was like, hello, yes, what do you want? You know, that thing is already like about 18 to 20 ringgit already on my telephone bill. You know what I mean? Sekarang ni, I can just use like a WhatsApp call and I can call you from anywhere around the world globally. Ni the word globally kan. So that's just cheap and it make it sound like you are just in next door or like we are talking like this. Could you imagine? That is where the term globalization call up. That means that there is a benefit ataupun is an advantage of doing that. Imagine this lah. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I was abroad, okay? And I can still conduct the class from like on the other side of the world, to be exact, about 7 hours different from here. But if we met the timing well, meaning that mine is 7:30 in the morning over there, here is like about 2:30 in the afternoon, but we can still handle and establish education. So that is where media and the globalization is like one of the topic or the chapter which we talk about for this week. All right, which is interesting. However, it always comes with a price tag. Okay, adalah kena bayar sikit. You know, like you pay like a little bit for your mobile data, or maybe you pay a little bit more expensive for your mobile phone or for your computers and stuff like that. But however, this is something what you see and you experience. Okay, especially news. Yeah, I'm very sure that everybody here now knows about what happened in Palestine and in Gaza, and also konflik ataupun pergolakan disebabkan oleh peperangan yang sekarang ni dia dah convert, dia tak gunakan perkataan peperangan, dia dah pakai apa dia panggil? Genocide. You know what genocide mean, right? Meanings that dia nak buat pembasmian. So the pembasmian tu, it goes a long way because we try to chop off or make the things that wujud tu sebagai lupus. Alright? You know how people talk about, oh, the animal that used to be dinosaur before and then they extinct. So this is actually what this war is all about. They wanted to make the Palestinian to be no longer Palestinian. You speak so much about the Palestinian country, now we try to take that off the maps. So this is like what all the peoples or the people in Israel, not literally Israel, I'm actually talking about Zionism here. This is something like a term that has been reflected to, you know, like Nazi and also appetite before this. So these are all the doom, what do you call these terms that has been used. And yeah, if without the globalization, none of this could have happened. So that's why now the attack is actually more onto the reporters, because the reporters are the one that report literally of what happened. So kita panggil dia, you know, like the war in the modern day. Wallahu alam lah. So this is something what I cannot talk so much about it. Kejap lagi nanti I pula jadi sentimental. Anyway, this is actually the impact of the media on the global communications, and also some we call it as a cultural exchange. You learn about other people's culture beside your kepompong ataupun your bubbles. Your bubble may speaks about, maybe if you are a Malay, so you speaks about the culture in your Malay region. If you are Muslim, so you speaks about the cultural in the Muslim religion. But we speaks about like global communication that tells you of how other peoples live on the other side of the world. Kalau tak pun, you know, like your neighbors, maybe the people who are in a different culture than you. Yeah, then we start to understand, we start to learn, kita anggapkan dia sebagai satu bentuk ilmu ataupun perkongsian ilmu, di mana kalau benda tu baik, kita ambil. Kalau benda tu tak baik, nanti kita buatkan sebagai sepadan. Tapi itulah, okay, this is actually where the globalization is. And then media is actually the one that shapes the international relationships, okay, so that you can become international. Dulu susah nak, kalau nak study kan, kena pergi overseas, so kena you know, like take a flight to go out, kena do a living in UK and all that. Sekarang tak payah susah dah. You know, like everything is all there. Kalau nak, macam tadi Hemi cakap tadi, it's just like di hujung jari. Whatever thing you need is just to press. So it depends on us where we decide to actually press on lah. Here are some of the positive impact that we talk about when we speak about the media in the global communication. First is the facilitation of the cross-cultural dialogue. Okay, Allahu Akbar. Apa benda jatuh? Sorry. Cross-cultural dialogue. You know, I remember last week when we speaks about the LGBTQ, nobody speaks about it like in the 70s or in the 80s. People thought that was a taboo. Taboo maksudnya is like macam it's a very secretly things that you wanted to talk about. Betul tak? Okay. People use the word macam like transgender, macam pondan and all this, you know, like as a very bad word. Sekarang ni, because of the communication or the global communication or this cross-cultural dialogue sort of thing, it seems like people are now accepting, you know, like are being very, very accepting about it. Your thoughts? Okay. Kalau dalam Netflix pun sekarang ni, you know, like you have a category of the LGBT. Don't be surprised. Dekat Malaysia pun boleh accept. Alright, and then there are some movies and also TV series in there. They are open and exposed to everybody. So kalau you kata macam your kids, jangan tengok benda-benda macam ni. They can actually watch it on their own. Mobile phone dia orang ada. Internet connection pun dia orang ada. Betul tak? Okay. This is like something yang orang kata bukan takat tu jadi tak ada sepadan. What else? Language barrier. Okay, it breaks down the language barrier. Previously, kalau you nak global communication, tak boleh sebab I cakap Melayu in London je. Other than that, I can't speak German. Ich kann kein sprechen Deutsch. But, alright, now because of the translations, the Google Translate and stuff like that, so it became so easy to speak to other peoples in other countries with a different language, because you can always translate it in and out. So that means that for you to gain knowledge from other culture is not really something that is difficult. Orang kata tepuk dada tanya selera Okay, tepuk dada tanya selera. Dia cakap kata kalau you nak, you buat. Kalau you tak nak, then there's a lot of other obstacles. Tapi this obstacle is no longer through the media lah, because media everybody can see it already. Other than that is access information and news for all around the world. Okay, now you all batting on Netflix tak? Do you all watch Netflix? You do, eh? Yeah. Did you watch ada satu, you know, like it was becoming like such a viral last week. So it really make me, I don't watch much of the Netflix, but tak ada masa kan. So, but then again, you know, I was like reading on the articles and the news that was very intrigued, or it intrigued me to go and watch. You know which one that I'm talking about? Anybody know? Ada tak? Okay. There. I put it in the chat already. So yes, Amar Rahimi, betul. Man in the Run, or the Man on the Run, something like that. Okay. So do you know what this is? Amar, maybe you boleh bagi synopsis a little bit. Amar? Ataupun Panisha, can you give a little bit? Have you watched it? Anybody have watched it yet? Can you please raise your hands? Yang lain tak tengok lagi So if you want to, you can watch before they literally take it out, because you don't know what will happen. Okay, this. So you see, previously macam bab politik, anyway, politik has been taken out from the media and society punya course. So because I think that has been filtered out for some reason. So I don't want to tell or explain further about it lah. But whatever that is, if you want to watch about the 1MDB and the scandal and the whole truth or the whole entire thing, what literally happened. So there is the channel where the people that has been blocked before. For example, what was the name of that guy? Thomas. Sorry, I can't really remember, but he used to be the lawyer, and then after that, you know, he wrote the books, and then there was like the writer of the book, and the you know, like the whistleblower from you know, like from the international press. There has been detained before in Bangkok or in Thailand, and then after that, he actually come and explain about the whole entire things and all that. So it makes you understand now what is actually literally happened. Why is this like an important subject that you need to know as a Malaysian? Okay, and that is also one of the reasons why the government was like, not the government actually, but then Najib wanted it to be like taken out from the taken out from Netflix, because it kind of like being a humiliation for him and also his family. I totally understand that, because if I will be him, I will be doing the same thing. But however, this is actually what the global communication is actually speaking about. It's just a matter of time before things will like tumble around and take over lah. So if you have the time, you probably wanted to go and watch this, and then after that, you know, like you can actually decide that what it is actually about. Yeah. Okay, and another positive impacts of the media and also on the global communication is about connecting people from the different countries and also with the different cultures. So you learn, and sometimes it makes you think. Learning is not just about accepting. Learning is also about kita memuhasabahkan diri, itu dalam bahasa Malaysia, ataupun kita buatkan dia sebagai satu reflection. Kita lihatkan dia sama ada dia adalah satu benda yang baik atau satu benda yang tidak baik. Yeah. Alright. Other than that, we also speaks about the negative impacts on the media, on the global communication, racism ataupun spread of information, misinformation, and also the fake news. We have been speaking about this a lot when we come to media, as if that this is something that attack that come along together with the media, okay, about racism and stuff like that. It can be better, or it can either be, you know, like on the other way around. So you can actually decide on that. And also the reinforcement of the stereotype and also the cultural biases. Now, the more that you are actually embracing yourself in within the media, kita tengok banyak pengiklanan, kita tengok banyak berita, kita tengok banyak case study, okay, cerita yang berlaku di sana, di sini and everything. Dan banyak kita tengok kepada reinforcements of the stereotype and also the cultural biases. Okay. Like last night last night I actually went out with the friends that are non-Malay, and then after that he was actually talking about, oh, we actually sitting in the restaurant. The restaurant is not it's a cafe lah, you know, like, so dia tak ada price tag that say, ataupun dia tak ada tag yang cakap kata it's a halal punya restaurant, probably because they serve something else and all that. Tapi yang makan dekat dalam tu ada yang bertudung, ada Chinese, ada Indian, ada like other races and all that. So this is actually where the cultural biases is like being shut down, because this is the real Malaysia, because everybody is actually mixing up together without looking into the your name tag, whether you are a Malay or a Muslim and so on, as long as ada batasannya. But the global communication would actually speak that rather than not knowing the truth lah. Yeah. Okay. Other negative impact is the disruption of the traditional communication or the methods of the cultural practice. Ni standard lah, you tengok student play games and all that. Cara kita belajar kan berbeza. So, you know, like I am in the way, I teaching like hundreds of students here, tapi to be actual fact, I don't really like it. Okay, the reason is because I can't see, I tak kenal any of my students here except for your names and also for your profile icon. Betul tak? Okay, I tak pernah tengok Cik Fuad yang mana satu, Hemi yang mana satu, I tak pernah tengok Jerisha yang mana satu. I don't know you by heart. So it feels close but not that close. Alright, it feels mesra tapi kan tak, it's not that mesra. God knows what you're doing behind there at the counter, tapi kan, you know, like the relationship doesn't go beyond from the computers. So I can try my best to make the class to be as exciting as possible, tapi the part that is not exciting is I don't have that sort of like the feeling connection in within that lah. Okay, this is actually one thing. The second thing ni lagi best, alright. So because of the dependency of the technology, it lost the personal interaction. Jangan cakap kat dalam kelas lah, I think in the family as well. You know how the family was telling you like, kita makan, kena makan, duduk semeja sebab that's the only time of the day where we all will be connected together. Well, it seems that that's not really happening well right now anymore, okay. Kadang-kadang my brother always ask me, so how's your friends? It's like not asking me. They kata, how's your friend on Facebook and on the social media? Are they all okay? Are they all well? They are all fit well. Dia orang nak makan apa belum? So that is always like my brother lah, trying to imitate on me because I always like dekat meja makan, it's like still chatting and stuff like that and answering call. I was like, hello, this is me and my student. I'm actually answering question to my students. Oh really? During makan okay. So how's your student? Are your student okay? So that is sarcastically trying to tell me that put the phone down, let's eat, and also like talk to the one or to the people that are in front of you that concern and, you know, like look about you. Betul exactly. So these are among of the negative impact lah. Other than that, the role of media in shaping the international relationship. So when you have a Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram as a social media platform, it became such a powerful tool. Either you realize or not, these are the content that has been curated to you by a user on the other side of the world. So you share and you connect information. Remember previously I was asking you the question, mana you dapat news altogether? So not many people actually get it from the TV. Not many people get it from the newspaper. Sebab you tak baca newspaper kan? Tak ada dalam paper dah. But you get all your news actually from the Twitter, from your TikTok. Just now I had the class, dia kata dia shopping pun dah pakai TikTok sekarang. Wow. That's cool. I don't even have the TikTok account. Tapi, you know, I heard that the people actually go and do the shopping and you can get like a very good bargain for the price over TikTok and stuff like that. So, yeah, you know, like this is actually where the world is actually switching around. And not just only that, okay, if we look into the role of the traditional news and media, okay, there is also the television and the newspapers. However, you feels like it has been authorized by an ownership. Remember dalam chapter 2 hari tu kita cerita pasal ownership kan, when someone own the media, so sometimes the media is not being curated to 100% correctness ataupun 100% transparent. It could always be curated in the different way. Example, okay, kalau you tengok Al Jazeera dengan CNN, dia punya cara penyampaian ataupun penulisan tu dia berbeza. Okay, ataupun BBC dengan Daily Harakah for example, okay, Malaysian news and also the way of how reporting and also the way of how Barat melaporkan berita adalah berbeza. Okay, contohlah macam perkara yang berlaku konflik di Gaza. Terrorist is a term that is always be related to not the right person. Okay, kita kata American is the terrorist, but the American always come back and says that no, Islam is actually the terrorist. So there is like a two-sided way of like it always twisted your mind, and you can actually gather that by getting the right news. Okay. Now, sometimes media can also be used as a tool of the propaganda. The pictures on the left here, yang ada microphone, ada semboyan. Dia panggil apa semboyan? Traditional, purba sangat. Kata Encik Muzamil hari ni, it's like semboyan. Okay. The loud speaker yang selalunya digunakan ni, I remember back then during the communism times, they always use this sebagai satu media propaganda. Okay. And yeah. Tapi sekarang ni media yang digunakan tu lebih kepada social media and so on. So this is actually where like you can actually decide to which do you want to listen to. Right? Okay, media and the formation of the public or media. Media can shape the public opinion, including yourself lah, especially on the international issues. Okay, but I wanted to hear from you before I finish this chapter. How far do you know about the international news? What is actually the international news that you have been listening to, or you have been paying attention to? I know the boys, they will say football, but other than football, are there any other news on the international levels that you have been following ataupun you have been listening to? Can we do this as a discussion, a short one? Anyone?
I've been listening. I mean, I'm not a fan of sports, so I don't usually follow sport news. But most of the time I follow business and also international relations news. So relevant, so whatever about business, for instance, Tesla, whatever kind of business that interests me, business news that interests me, then of course I will read that. But most of the time I will just read the headline first. If the headline doesn't interest me, then of course I will skip that news. But that's the kind of news that I always follow internationally.
I see. So in regard of the business, what is actually the latest trends, or maybe something like the last things that you read ataupun the last thing that you follow?
For international business, of course, the latest one I follow was more on the electric vehicles. For instance, BYD has taken over Tesla's rating to be the biggest electric vehicles provider in the world. BYD.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's the latest I think I've read.
Yeah, I see. Are you interested in the EV car?
I do, but I'm not ready for that yet.
So whenever we have a coffee, then we talk, right? Because I'm also interested in the EV car. Tapi I'm actually looking like 4 or 5 times on this BYD, like build your dream car. It looks actually pretty cool. Tapi, tak tahulah. Sometimes this considered to be an investment, and people have been talking a lot about like the EV car with the sustainability. In the actual fact, they don't support the sustainability.
Yeah, BYD car looks nice. I mean, they have even nicer car, but tak masuk Malaysia. So that's why I'm quite annoyed lah. But some of them tak masuk Malaysia, but it's very nice. Yang masuk Malaysia, most of them nice, but not that nice compared to the one that's supposed to be in Malaysia. But my biggest worry is that after 5 or 6 years of using the car, to replace the battery might cost you a Myvi or Viva. So that's my biggest concern. So yeah, that's why I was like, then I'm, after 5 years, I might either change my car, or I might, have to save money to buy a battery for that. Now memang lah, of course, the tax exemption and whatnot, but we never know in the next, 5 years what's going to happen, especially with the change of government and whatnot lah.
True, but that is also a very good point, because when we speak about like sustainability in the car, replacing the batteries and also knowing that where the electrics come from is like another things that you feels like kita nak avoid from using the petroleum, tapi kan sebenarnya it's just like an alternative using another resource which is not really a clean energy. Did you realize that?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, very good. That's actually a very good point. Thank you very much, Amy. What about the others? What are the international news or the international issues perhaps that you have been following or listening to? Or the movie that comes to your interest? Anybody else? No, okay. I can share. For example, I am always, very keen on technology. Okay, especially on the technology of like wearable device and gadget and stuff like that. Okay, so the other day I was like, I always follow about where the trend is actually going, because people were saying that about, like using, what do you call that, like virtual reality, and also this augmented reality technology by using like the AR, what do you call this, glasses and stuff like that. Then now they are about to release like this, Apple is about to release like the new Vision Pro lah, like, and that will cost my kidney, because it's just so expensive. But yeah, these are actually among of the things that will, people will see that where the technology will actually go through, which I am not really a big fan of, like whenever it comes to the eyes. Okay, I can go with the computers, with the tablets and so on, which is sometimes I felt that it's a bit redundant lah. Tablet saya ada, tapi I jarang pakai because I felt that it's just redundant. I rather use a computer because rasa lebih more on the, like self-satisfaction. Tapi some people they say lah, tak nak lah, berat lah and all these sort of things. So when it comes to the human demand, human ni ada banyak dia punya demand dia kan. That is where the trend go to the tablet. Tapi ini pun sama juga, the human have the demand. I wanted to have something that I don't even touch. I tak pegang pun tangan mana-mana. I'm just like going to do like siap like this je. Like, and then they invented something that is just like for you to wear like a goggle, so that you can watch movie through that. So you don't need to have like a big TV anymore ataupun the flat screen. Sekarang dah tak payah nak flat screen dah. You just like put it on your goggle, you can just like watch your movie from there. That is like where the gadget is actually going. So these are among of the, the role of the media in the public or in the globalizations that has been, taking our tolls in terms of our attentions and also our, opinion lah. Okay. All right. So that is actually the first part. I'm going to go and do the lecture of lecture nights. Okay. Is everyone okay? Okay, all right. So nanti I will just like put it up a little bit. I will publish on the media and entertainment, because this is media and entertainment. So I thought this is something maybe will trigger your interest. At last, finally, I'm actually talking about media dan juga dunia hiburan. Okay, dunia lah ako dalam bahasa Melayu purba. Okay, betul tak? Alright, so you all suka tengok Gegar Bagaza, Gegar semua. This is actually about it lah. How peranan media di dalam dunia hiburan. Okay, so it actually shapes the culture of entertainment, atau we call it as a popular culture. Sekarang ni nak popular tak susah, betul tak? Okay, what do you have to do in order to make yourself popular? Anybody? Cik Firdaus ke? Apa you nak buat? Oh, buat TikTok Okay, Jerisia ke? What do you have to do in order to make yourself popular? Kalau dulu orang ada talent, TV Amala, what do you have to do in order to make yourself popular?
Do something stupid, sir.
I like that. So you do something stupid. You said, not me, Okay, alright. Tapi dulu lah, orang belajar piano ataupun orang belajar menyanyi, people who have like real talents, alright, they are all the people who are being very popular. The reason is because they sing so good. I wanted to listen to you. What are you going to sing next? Okay, sekarang kan you tak payah nak menyanyi pun. You do something silly, Sabrina, you do something weird, and then you do something that is out of extraordinary. Okay, lip sync perhaps, okay, or you dress up like a different or alternatively from yourself, a man to become a woman and stuff like that, then you can like straight away go up on the fame, because you see that the people will listen to you and the people really care about things what these people are doing. Okay, I don't ask for you to agree because that is like my own opinion. If you disagree, then you come and tell me. Otherwise, I'm going to assume all of my 101 student here semua setuju dengan apa saya kata. Betul Alright, this is actually where the Tommy Thomas, yes, that is actually the names I was looking for. Sorry, it just like come across my mind. makeup and also wear parrot kind of costume and also walk on the streets and also you appeared on the TikTok news. Exactly. Okay. This is actually what the chapter is all about lah. We are not about to promote them, and we also not about to make them feel condescending, tapi we are just going to debate or to discuss about it in one chapter, because this is the impacts of the media and also the entertainment industry. Okay. Okay, now take a look at this. Okay, the media play a significant role in shaping on the popular culture. So sama ada through TV, through film, all right, through music, through social media, through newspapers, and also through magazine. Ada je, whatever thing that you mentioned about, macam TikTok and all that, these are all just a channel. This is just a platform. Dalam bahasa kita panggil sebagai gelanggang. So it's just like a platform, pentas, gelanggang. This is just medan untuk people like ourselves, like you and me. If we want to, we can just sit in there, in front there, and we can take part. However, whatever things that we do, it really shapes the way of how we believe, how we value it. You cakap kata, I benci lah tengok Datuk Vida tu dengan dia punya makeup dia, dengan dia punya apa dia, and everything. Tapi klik tengok juga. That is actually what she wanted you to do, because she wanted to have that as a viral. But for you, it really shapes the way how you hate her. Your hatred towards something or your love and passions towards something has been negotiable, has been promoted, okay, ataupun been influenced or perceived by the way of how they act and they do. Okay, bukan takat kita je, kanak-kanak lah, especially for the children, alright, they are always be the target, they are always been the major influence. Sama ada the ladies will go into becoming a princess, thinking of like the princess with the crown and always look beautiful, always look presentable with the characteristics and so on, okay, will always be one that I want. Okay, you pernah tak ada syndrome Frozen dulu? Ada sedikit masa a few years ago? Okay, semua benda nak Frozen, bag pun nak Frozen, pencil cases pun nak Frozen, t-shirt pun nak Princess Elsa Frozen kan. I think some of you lah masa you kecil dulu, betul tak? Alia? Okay, Azlina, you dulu pakai baju Frozen when it was that time before? Cepat mengaku, ada tak? Yes, okay, ada birthday cake pun nak Frozen, you know, like things like that lah. These are actually hiburan. Oh, tiba-tiba bukan zaman saya but I'm very sure zaman siapa-siapa pun dekat sini, they are always menangis kalau tak dapat kan. You know, like you throw a big tantrum to your parent, rasa macam nak santau or like macam nak keluar nyawa macam tu kan. You know, like that bloody murdered kind of attitude just because you tak dapat apa yang you nak, alright? Tapi sebenarnya Frozen aja pun. You don't understand that thing, tapi kan it was so menghantui. Sama juga macam dekat Malaysia, macam Upin and Ipin, okay? So everything is all like that. Zaman you, zaman Sailor Moon, okay lah. So whoever that are there must be a reason. I remember masa saya muda sikit lah, my anak-anak saudara semua kan, tu zaman Bollywood. Kalau satu hari dia tak tengok dia punya kush-kush hotahir tu, I don't know, dia macam tak cukup, macam kena candu, you know, like macam ketagih semacam. I don't understand that. Tapi this is actually like dunia hiburan yang, you know, like really up to that standard. You pernah tak masa zaman Dragon Ball dengan Power Ranger, probably you would appeal for something like this. This is where the popular culture or the pop culture was before. I'm just like reviving towards the age when we were younger, masa kita kanak-kanak dulu kan. What are we being appealed to? Saya kadang-kadang macam tak faham. Dulu zaman saya kecil-kecil dulu Ultraman. So sebab tu lah kalau saya nampak benda kecil-kecil ke apa kan, macam ada macam rumah apa semua, rasa macam nak pijak-pijak je, because I thought that I am like raksasa Ultraman and stuff like that. You know, like, but Ultraman. Okay, but these are you know, like the things what we actually appeal to, and inilah apa yang media telah buat berdasarkan kepada hiburan. Tak juga macam tu. Macam semalam I was out in KL, saya tengok banyak je motor-motor rempit and all that. So kadang-kadang you don't know which one is actually influence which. Filem rempit influence kepada orang merempit ke? ataupun orang yang pergi merempit dengan motor dia, lepas tu kan dia tengok menjadi inspirasi kepada Yusuf Aslam nak buat cerita pasal rempit. So you don't know. Alright, by the end of the day, this is actually what the pop cultures have already influenced us, because whatever things that we talk about, it always related to entertainment. Betul Ada siapa merempit dekat sini? Cik Fuad ke? Ada? Tak ada Tak okay. Kalau ada motor bawa elok, okay. Letak stiker dekat basikal je. Okay. Other than that, that's why it's like the role of the music. So what are the music that you listen to? Always will reflect your personality, okay? Or will reflect to your belief and to your behavior and also to your value. Kalau dalam Islam pun, for example, selalunya dia akan cakap pasal hiburan ni. Dia kata straight away, hiburan tu adalah haram. That's it. The reason is because generally, like hiburan itu dia like it influence us sama ada kita sedar ataupun kita tak sedari. So like these are among other things lah. So it's actually the role of the music and also the role of the social media. Okay, kadang-kadang saya pun macam somebody throw me a questions this is a non-Muslim to another Muslim in Malaysia. Dia kata macam I see that most of the Malay women wearing a tudung. Okay, wearing a tudung, wearing a hijab. And then they ask me why. Okay, so I wanted to ask all the ladies here yang mana pakai tudung, alright. What is actually the reason why you have to wear tudung? Can you tell me? Aurat, kewajipan Muslims, okay. It's because of the religion, okay. Are any others? Okay, menjaga diri sebagai wanita. Okay. Alright. Now this is actually my malu nak tunjuk aurat rambut kita. Yes, betul. I totally 100% agree with whatever answers that you have just given me to my question. But my next question, okay. My next question I'm going to ask you, whether wanita yang bertudung, adakah itu betul-betul mencerminkan kepada kepribadian seseorang yang memakainya? Now, I want to ask you this in the socially ataupun dalam kehidupan kita di sini. Okay. Alright, thank you for the question. Thank you for the answer. Okay. That's the thing. Alright. Wanita yang memakai tudung merupakan, bila ditanya dia kata, oh tuntutan agama, tuntutan agama. Tapi at the actual facts, I see that there are some of the ladies that wear the tudung, tapi kan dia tak mencerminkan kepada identiti sebagai seorang Islam ataupun wanita Islam. Okay. But don't get me wrong, because this is actually my opinion lah, because I may be wearing a tudung as a Muslim woman, tapi it doesn't stop me to do anything yang salah daripada segi agama. Sebab kadang-kadang we see from outside, like kadang-kadang my colleague, okay, the way of how they speak, sometimes the way of how their behaviors and stuff like that doesn't really reflect. Okay, kadang-kadang saya kata lah, like some ladies is actually diorang nak pakai tudung sebab kalau dia tak pakai, nanti dia akan jadi satu pandangan kepada orang lain. Like that's the reason why you have to wear, because it's about the socially people are looking at you, because kenapa dia ni tak pakai tudung, especially dekat makcik-makcik you lah. Kalau balik kampung kan, tiba-tiba tak tudung, free hair, lepas tu ada colour highlight pula sikit, nanti kan the first person yang akan jeling mata dekat ujung sekali tu, that will be your auntie, betul tak? Makcik-makcik cakap, ya Allah, anak ni siapalah, kenapalah aku tak tudung kan? Kau ni macam-macam bawang, maklong kan? Like they always have like soalan-soalan cepumas lah yang akan bertanya, like kenapalah kau ni tak tudung? Kau ni tak ingat ke apa tu? Matilah and stuff like that. So there will always be some good points of them telling. So by hook or by crook, this lady, whether dia cakap kata sampai seru ataupun tak sampai seru, they will have to wear it. Tapi their intention is actually just because to cover so that nobody come and tell them lah about something like this. Makcik-makcik bawang kan. So like standard lah. So I would like to reflect back again to the questions where I asked in the very beginning, sebab orang cakap kata menutup aurat, tuntutan agama Islam and stuff like that. So does it actually literally reflects to that? So Social media lah, Okay. So another thing is I put a picture here is that the Khairul Amin with his, like apa tu, sambal nyet and all that. Okay. So this is like another way of how the social media and the entertainment that has been mixed up. People with the talent of cooking have already twisted your mind into like buying things and stuff like that. It become viral. I'm not sure how good it is because I've never tried. I believe that it is actually very good. Tapi it is not good enough until like I would really get so frustrated of not buying one. Okay, saya rasa macam kau tak makan sama banyak tak apa kot. Like tapi some people are like really macam die-hard fan, wanted to buy and also get so frustrated and put it on the social media. Allah, I was like queuing and now it's like already finished. Hashtag sedih, hashtag I tak makan sambal this week anymore, hashtag whatever. So I don't know. But these are among the things that kadang-kadang kita ni lah. Okay. Sama juga the role of the newspaper and the magazine. So this is like macam hiburan yang kadang-kadang you feel how the superficial. When I say the terms, excuse me, the term superficial, okay, kadang-kadang you tengok majalah Vogue ataupun kalau dalam bahasa Malaysia, dalam Malaysia ni dulu lah majalah wanita, majalah jelita, majalah mingguan wanita and stuff like that when the ladies are always been portrayed as beautiful by airbrushing, by reducing the part and stuff like that. Tiba-tiba leher dia jadi panjang daripada usual. Okay, if you take a look at the Kim Kardashian, there's no way you will see Kim Kardashian in the real life will look exactly like this. The reason is because the pictures has been photoshopped to that much extent until dia dah nampak macam terlampau perfections. Okay, so sometimes the newspaper and magazine is actually portraying the perfection as a real life. Okay, these are among the things. Sama juga macam majalah-majalah kat Malaysia. Contoh macam majalah Mangga. Okay, they promote something that sometimes you feels like, what are you trying to tell me here when the woman and the man can actually just like hug together, but you know that they are not husband and wife. Okay, just because they are celebrity doesn't give them a right in order to lakukan hubungan sumbang ataupun like perlakuan sumbang sebeginilah. So at the end of the day, this is actually one of the things that you see a negativity because it actually reflects to that. Now, I put also a little bit of the timeline of the entertainment industry. Dulu kita tengok kan hiburan tak adalah macam sekarang ni. Hiburan kita pada masa dulu kalau dalam Islam kan, it always about nyanyian nasyid, kasidah dan juga sebagainya. Tapi if I take a look at this in the European country, there always been something that is more about cultural. If it sings, it's about the beauty of singing. Kalau dalam agama Islam about nyanyian di dalam Al-Quran, like cara bagaimana kita membaca Al-Quran dengan secara musabaqah ataupun secara lunak merdu dengan suaranya dan bagai. So these are actually among of the things where we see. Tapi in the 21st century, the industry or the entertainment industry have take tolls into like so many different channels and stuff like that. I'm very sure you are all familiar dah dengan Netflix, okay, dengan apa lagi, dengan YouTube, dengan TikTok especially, where sama lah juga macam Hemi cakap tadi semua dekat ujung jari je so among of other things lah. Alright, these are some of the criticism of the role of the media in entertainment. Okay, kadang-kadang it reinforce the negative stereotype. I'm taking this actually from the notes from the books that I read lah. So in some people, it give you like the freedom to watch. For example, like there is this one TV series called as a Heartstoppers, which has become like quite a sensation worldwide when it's talk about the kids at the age of 13 and 14s are like, the boys are like loving to each other and stuff like that. Dia mungkin tak sama dengan apa kita punya culture dan juga perilaku kehidupan manusia di Malaysia. Tapi, like Netflix says that, yes, it's okay, you can actually watch it. Alright? So, among of other things. And secondly is, I put here, one of the negativity is about encouraging on the passive consumptions. Okay? Have you been into this situation where you just like sit there and just like read and watch? Okay, kalau boleh habiskan whole entire 12 episode tengok cerita Korea. Ada siapa tengok cerita Korea sini? Sabrina tengok cerita Korea? Okay. Dia tak boleh tengok satu, dia kena tengok 12 kali serangkap. So habislah satu malam saya pagi, dia tak tidur sebab dia tengok tu. Atika tengok cerita Korea, okay. Kadang-kadang saya pun tak faham cerita Korea tu kenapa orang suka sangat. Alright, you can tell me later. Okay, it's just like macam dia duduk je tak cakap apa-apa, muka dia macam tak bergerak and all that, air mata keluar sedikit je. Tapi kan that was already like something very fanatic to the people who likes it, Betul tak? Norin? Okay, dia cakap bahasa you pun tak faham and all that, tiba-tiba you rasa macam teremosi, sama juga macam karakter. Okay, you pula yang over emotion kadang-kadang kan. Dia menangis keluar air mata setitik je sebab foundation dia tak nak macam mess up kan. Tapi you pula yang over in a kind of way. So it actually encourage your passive consumptions lah. Okay, you duduk je dekat situ and also watch that sampai pagi. Lepas tu kan kadang-kadang semayang pun terbabas. Betul tak? Okay, my assumption je lah, bukan betul pun. It promote an unrealistic expectation. Okay, unrealistic expectation ni macam I cakap tadi lah, macam it promotes like the world is always beautiful out there. Kalau siapa yang suka tengok cerita Bollywood ataupun cerita Tamil, siapa yang suka tengok kat sini? Okay, TV Amala, do you like to watch that? Okay, now did you realize back then, okay, back then, macam in the films that was in the 80s, in the 90s and in the early 2000s, ataupun still sampai sekarang lah, Shah Rukh Khan and all that, they always portray about the beauty, they always portray about like the family that is rich, there is always portray about the colourful lifestyle with the singing and the dancing, and kita boleh tukar baju sampai 5-6 pasang, you know, like that sort of, it always be like a nice way of showing, you know, like the films or the Bollywood film. Okay, this is so unrealistic. The reason is because if you get to see the actual life dekat India tu sendiri, India banyak kemiskinan ataupun dia punya jurang kehidupan masyarakat dia is actually a very high gaps. I've been to India, I've seen by myself, kebanyakannya adalah gelandangan, kebanyakannya hidup di dalam kawasan setinggan ataupun penempatan haram, you know, like things like that. By the end of the day, they always give an inspiration of like, this is the real life that you could imagine. Okay, that means that, for example, you can't afford to have this life, tapi you can afford to dream to have this kind of like a big life and all that. So that's why Bollywood movie especially, they try to portray an unrealistic expectation so that the people will get so depressed. That's how they feel about it. So your thoughts on this? Okay, these are, you know, like this is what I read lah. I'm not sure whether this is like the right things or not the right thing, but yeah, especially also with the Tamil movie. But I think the Tamil movie would give a little bit more on the realistic. Kadang-kadang dia cerita juga pasal kemiskinan, pasal pertanian, pasal mereka yang hidup dalam, you know, like in the lower level ataupun in the farmer levels, alright, and stuff like that. Tapi kalau dalam Bollywood tu dia macam tak kasih chance tau, you know, like it always about all the big castles and also all the big houses and the people who are rich and so on. So yeah. Okay, and also fostering the addiction lah, sama ada Game of Thrones ke ataupun cerita Korea macam tadi Alright, so media can influence on the society, so it shapes on the people opinion, and also it promotes on the cultural value. If it's a good value, so it will be better, but if it's not a good one, so it will shapes otherwise. Okay, the fairy tales, yes, okay, a little bit more on the fairy tale side. Okay, and there would be a time as well where the media can actually contribute to the anxiety and also to the depression. Betul tak? Okay, do you agree with me when I say that it contribute to the anxiety and to the depression? Betul. Cuba bagi contoh satu.
Yes.
Gavi, cuba bagi contoh satu.
Kadang-kadang like it's like how, you know, when criticizing macam, let's say we post something, right, maybe our pictures or anything, apa yang kita post tu, people comment, you know, I mean, we should welcome all kind of comment, but certain comments it doesn't, we cannot take it, the comments. Maybe the comments about the way we do, the way we dress up, the way we talk. So all this I think is also like an impact that given, you know, maybe we follow the action through from that media. For example, like TikTok, apa yang kita buat tu kita just follow je from whatever movies, right? Tapi bila kita buat, kita post the same thing, but only thing is the action is we do, you know. So but people when comment, they don't comment to the contents, they comment the way we do So it's all, I think this is all give a great criticism to our mental illness. Now, some of us will take it too serious. Why people do like that to us? So they will, this kind of things will make them think too much on it.
Actually, that's a very interesting thought. Thank you. So that is actually on the social media on our side. Okay. I wanted to give you one idea here. Thanks, Gavi. Just, like, I remember there was then this the Coldplay concert, okay, that was happening here before in Malaysia, okay, and also in other countries. So some people who could not get the ticket, sometimes they go a little bit on the obsessive side, okay. Ada yang sampai sedih, ada yang sampai get depression, ada yang sampai, like, because this is the only time that I get to see, and then suddenly I didn't get the tickets. So macam mana nak tolong, like things like that lah. Okay, which is actually a thoughts on the anxiety and also depression, and also on normalizing on the harmful behavior. Kadang-kadang kita ni is just like a white canvas. You know what I mean by the white canvas? We've been very clean, we've been very virgins on things, like meaning that there is always like the first time and so on. Tapi, like the influence of hiburan ni kadang-kadang yang menunjukkan kita supaya kita ada some of the harmful behavior ataupun sikap yang berbahaya lah. Contoh lah macam eating disorder, okay, ataupun self-harming. Alright, sebab apa? I tengok dekat TV boleh buat, kenapa I tak boleh buat? Dia macam tu lah, substance abuse and so on. So, among of other things, I used to kena also, I was attacked on the Facebook on the photo of you wearing short. Habis tu kenapa kau pakai short, nak taruh gambar. Was it me the one that attacked you? Tak Amy?
No.
So what was it about?
I was badly, that time I was in Langkawi, so I post, of course, dekat pulau kan, so you wearing shorts. But my mistake was that I posted on Facebook, and then I was attacked, and then they said, aurat and everything, and then why are you wearing shorts, blah blah blah, and then of course lah, they keep on attacking. Some of my friends back me up, some of them attacking me and everything, and then starting from there, I started to study my social media followers. So I realized people on Facebook, my followers, my friends on Facebook are more conservative compared to my friends on Twitter or Instagram. So starting there, I've never posted anything sensitive anymore on Facebook, but I will post something, whatever short, whatever lah. But on Instagram, on Twitter, that one is fine. No one's gonna attack me, but not on Facebook. On Facebook, I'll be very nice boy. And then I realized many of my friends also are Malay, so if I write in English, no one's gonna respond to that. So I will write in Malay instead, so that more response from them. So yeah, so that's what I learned lah. The lesson learned from there.
I see. I can say that you have an alter ego lah ni. Ada macam split personality.
Kinda, because of followers of my friends on the social media.
It's like there are two personality. One is a filtered version, the other one is all out.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Because my kampung people also all of that semua, so macam and then I cannot post anything kalau I go travel anywhere. I cannot post on my social media because they will go to my mother and tell, tengok Haimi pergi jalan sini, dia tak ajak ke apa semua. So they will provoke my mother at the same time. So yeah.
And then your mother have to answer for your side lah, on your behalf kan?
Yes, my mother will get annoyed so sometimes she will scold me. Tak payah post anymore lah.
Your post menyusahkan orang aja. Thank you for sharing. But another part of like, that's like one way of looking into the harmful behavior. But another than that, like kadang-kadang I tengok, I don't really 100% watch like movies so much, okay? Especially, I would say especially like, because it sounds a bit condescending when we speak about like the Malay movie. Tapi like I feels like there is a trend of the Malay movie that is always talk about gangsterism, about rempit, about some harmful behavior that it make me think sama ada are we actually Malaysian like that? You know what I mean? It's like, is that like the gangsterism is all what we talk about? Because the movie industry or the film industry has been not so balanced. Kan dia macam tak berapa nak balance in such a way. Right? So yalah, that is actually one thought about it. Okay, so I think that's about it for this week. So we actually speaks a little bit on the mental illness, about mental health on the media impact, especially on the entertainment. So we look into the globalizations, okay, media and globalization, and also media and entertainment. Okay, so I think that's about it because it's already like 1 hour. Let me just stop the recording first. Thank you very much for everyone who has already participated for this week. It really meant